Alrighty. My new M60u ultralight hang-on. I've been hunting with the M100 original for probably 3 years now. I was a lone wolf guy. I'm 40 years old, and sitting on that seat, as much as I love that stand, just sitting on that seat kills my backside. We started buying a bunch of the Kong hang-ons, and they had the nice fold-down padded seat with the armrest, and they were fantastic. And then they stopped making them. They were cheap. We could buy a bunch of them and put them up preset in all of our spots on private property and just hunt them, and they were great. But they discontinued. Kong doesn't do tree stands anymore, I guess. Or Gorilla doesn't do tree stands anymore, and we had to find something else. So we've been back and forth. We bought this, we bought that. I bought the M100. The seat looks super duper comfortable, and bought one of those, sat in it, hunted out of it, and I love it. I guess the M100U is a little bit lighter than the original M100, but I was looking at, now that I'm getting into filming, having that high back with the straps on that M100, swinging my camera arm gets in my way a little bit now. So I found this in the ultralight. So I pack my stand in and out. I hunt with a hunt club. We have leased property. It's like 15 guys hunt the properties, and I just can't leave my stuff in there anymore. So I like the Millenniums because I can hang a bunch of blocks, and then I can drag this thing in, drag it out, and set myself up for every hunt. But I wanted something just a little bit lighter. I'm carrying a bunch of camera gear now, big backpack, whether I'm carrying my bow or my gun or whatnot. I just thought something a little bit lighter would work. So enter the M60u. We'll rip this box open and get this bad boy out. Don't let it whoop me. So, there's a safety link. I'm going to be buying a lot more of these. I talked to some friends this afternoon at a local harvest festival, and they were telling me about a gentleman that fell after his tree stand failed, and he didn't make it. He died. So I'm adamant about wearing a safety harness, but I always just climb up and then clip on once I get it to the top. This guy apparently, wearing a safety harness, climbed up, and before he could clip off, to the ground he went. So one of these would have saved him and his family a lot of headache and heartache. So definitely be using this thing. Alright, so let's see here. Let's grab a little tools. First things first. Come on, these tie wraps. Safety harness, I'll tell you, not a big fan of the factory safety harnesses with these things. Spent my money, I bought a nice hunter safety system. I feel like I spent the money on it. I'm definitely going to use it. These things I usually pillage and plunder a lot of the straps out of them, and buckles and stuff that I can keep on using, and then I chunk these. Spending money on a nice harness, you'll wear it. So I got a bag of straps and buckles and pins and all that good stuff. And another bag of ratchet straps and stuff. I love these. Love these. These things are the greatest. Pick them up. I like to buy them off Amazon. I get them super cheap. I've got probably 15 of these things spread across 4 different properties. So I've got options for if somebody's hunting where I want to hunt, I just go to a different property. And I got a stand already, just about any wind direction I want. So I love these things. These are great. Great idea, Millennium. You hit the nail on the head with this one. So this has got its leveling system on it, which will be interesting. Now, I still manage to somehow find pretty straight trees. Most of the properties I'm hunting right now are all planted pine properties, so finding a straight tree generally isn't very hard. We have a harder time finding cover than we do a straight tree. Standard tree stand safety CD, definitely should watch it. Millennium catalog. Oh boy. I did not know that old man was part of the Millennium group now. Awesome. Spend some time reading through this, I guess, a little bit later. And how to do what you do, when you do, and why you do. Take a minute, read through this stuff too. It's all about your safety harnesses and the use, and how to assemble your tree stand. So, in the package, an additional ratchet strap. Looks like it is intended to go around the base of your stand at your tree. J, ratchet strap. I love these seats. These seats are great. Super comfortable, but I like them because get rain, snow, whatever. Doesn't settle in there, and it's not a big padded foam cushion, so next you know, you got a big old wet hiney for the rest of your hunt. No fun sitting in the woods with a wet hiney. Now, I will say, I just did my M100, and I'm going to end up adding something called camo form to this stand. A lot of guys are using the stealth strips and stuff on the climbing sticks and the lone wolf stuff. I tell you, I found this camo form stuff at Bass Pro the other day. It's almost like that. It's basically that self-cling bandage, but it's camouflage, and you can wrap it. It adheres to itself. And when it gets worn, you just rip it off, throw it away, or you can refurbish it with water, clean it up. So I really like it. This stand will be getting it also. It basically takes this nice black finish stand and it really hides it very well, but it also, you know, eliminates the noise of the beating and the banging and the clanging. And if you're like me, every time I climb in a tree, no matter how much I creep, get into the woods, nice and easy and slow, never fails. I always do something stupid and make a noise and hit this thing up against something. So, you know, I'm gonna camo form it, and it'll deaden some of the sound. All right. doing this a little bit backwards because I don't want to put the floppy seat on there and smack my fingers or my head, and then I'll be cussing and screaming and hollering on video. Millennium is nice enough to send you tools. Or you can do like I do. .13mm. I'm impatient, and I'm not going to play with this tools. I like to snug mine up. It's nice and it's free and it's easy, but I like to snug it up just a little bit. Not too much. But I like to snug it up so that when I hang this thing in my clip, on my mounting bracket, that my stand doesn't just, it's up, and I've got to put it down. And then it's not just put it in there and slam it down and make it a bunch of racket, and then I'm cussing and screaming in the woods. So, curious to see how I like this leveling system. We'll see. I'll do a proper evaluation once I get to getting into the woods and getting to hunting. I will say I just bought a stand pretty similar to this design, the Summit Backcountry, and I like that stand, but it is heavy, 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 super heavy. But I put it in one of my furthest stand locations, and it's going to stay there with a padlock on it. But it's steel, and it had been in the woods 6 months, and it's already starting to rust. Some of the bolt heads and stuff, which is a little aggravating. I hate to spend hard-earned money on stands and stuff and then have to spend more money on them replacing parts because steel and whatnot. It's pretty simple, pretty simple deal here. I feel like this platform is a little bit wider than the one that I've got on my current M100U, which I left that hanging in a tree. I killed a nice buck yesterday, which is why I'm not hunting today. Did some honeydews, went to the local harvest festival, spent some time with my wife and some friends and their children. Nice adjustment here for the seat level. That was one thing about that Summit didn't have, was an adjustment for the leveling of the seat, and it basically had plastic shims that the seat rested on, and I had to trim those shims to get the seat down a little bit because I'm short. So what I'll do is I'll take that camo form and I'll put the camo form across this bar, because this bar usually makes my boots, my knee-high rubber boots, like to squeak on this bar a little bit. And I'll camo form that, and I'll camo form all the edges all the way around, and then I'll actually do little pieces on this T-bar here. And it really makes the stand break up, and then I'll camo form all of this, and quietens it down a good bit. This is a Millennium M60u. God, I think it's light. Oh, I can't wait to sit in this thing. Wow. This thing is a whole lot lighter than my original M100. And honestly, man, I gotta look at it. It might even be lighter than the Lone Wolf I've got. Man, I can't wait to hunt this thing. Check it out. Millennium M60u. This thing's gonna be bad. I'm gonna kill something out of this season. Guaranteed. Book it.